Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. How are you folks doing this morning? Good to have so many of you on the live already. Marcia A. Garden, Marva Jacobs, I see Everett Small, I see Dolly Anderson, Brenda Solomon is here. Do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Good to have you, Auntie Sandra, on the live this morning. Sandra Hanover on the live today. Donna Patricia, Wayne Cosno. Good to have you, Wayne, and Trisha Clark. Good to have all of you on the live. I see beloved Jackson, beloved Jackson in the live too. Deborah, good to see you. Donna and Helen and Jermaine. The Honorable Camille Cox is on the live this morning. Camille, how are you doing? How is Kukwani, Camille? How is Kukwani? Ayindi Jackson, we see you too on the live. Ayindi joining us from the Pacaraimos this morning, hopefully. Ayindi, where are you today? It's a man that moves. It's a man that moves. Ayindi, good morning. Deborah and Sandra, Rena and Lester, Marcia, good to have all of you on the live today. Good to see you, Romel and Leslyn. How are you folks doing out there? Do let us know how you folks are doing out there. We're happy to have you all on the live. Claire Capel, good to see you this morning. Good to have you all here. Kevin and I see Yvette. Camille says she had a great time in Kukwani. She loved the water. Yeah, it's a water sign. Audrey, Lesson, Volme. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Folks, so much happening. So much happening. You know, we're in this silly season. Silly for a reason. Silly season. It's a little hot. AC happened this morning, boy. What in the AC happened? Good to have you guys do, because y'all make it bearable. The heat, where we are, and politically, y'all make it bearable. The heat, Dolly Anderson, Irwin Dunn Cook, Wayne Brown. Good to see Wayne on the live this morning. Leslie Hamilton say, let's fight. Let's fight. You know, I spoke with a gentleman yesterday. Region 3, and he was complaining about the fact the folks refused to give him his cash grant check. And here's why. The man don't want to take a photograph. Mind you, he already signed for the check. Had it in his hand, he took it back. Because he say, you all take a photograph already. You know I live, you got my address. What other photograph you want? So he refused. Well, they promised to contact some supervisor or somebody like that and then get back at him. Oh, the things they want you to do for this cash grant. I mean, look at James. You know, the things they want you to do for this cash grant. It's like you gotta bend over backwards. You gotta take a photograph. You know? I was sitting a day in the National Assembly. I think we were on a break, and one of the office staff came and brought mine. He said, "Just sign here." I wish everybody was like that. I thought I'd go in some line and some. It's my money. I want it. You know, if you are going to do with it, we got a couple things wrong this side. You know, a couple things wrong this side that we could do with funds. We got a couple things. So if y'all don't have anything to do with money, you know, y'all ain't got nothing to do with money. We got a couple ideas. All right? We got a couple ideas. Folks, you know, we're really depending on you guys to help us. So let me use it as a segue to say, you know, we're depending on you guys to help us to keep moving forward. We love if we can do it for free. You know, we love if we could provide the valid, credible information for you folks, free of cost. All right? And you know, we always say there's a perception out there, oh, these boys here getting a jewel and a crown. Well, it's neither the jewel nor the crown. It's neither the jewel nor the crown. It's neither of them. You know? It's none of them. So y'all can see the link flying by. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it, folks. You can see that link going by. Do not ignore it. You know, whether you got Cash App, you got Zelle, you can receive all of that through that very link there. I mean, rather you guys send it through the link. It's very secure. We've never had an issue. The last year or two we've been using it. It's very secure. And look, we're not haters. You know, some folks say, look, they're begging for $5. All right, y'all allow us. Right, look, they're begging for $10. You don't worry. Say, oh God, I shame for sending this $5. I shame. There's power in numbers. I shame for sending this $10. Do that for us. Why don't you? Do that for us. Yes, Marlon says she sent a donation on YouTube last night. Thank you so much, Marlon. Thank you so much. But for the others, if you can use the link, we'll be tremendously appreciative. Whether it's Zelle, whether it's Cash App, that one link. You know, the only thing you can do is send MMG. If you inbox us, we send you the MMG link. But that being said, folks, I'll stick it in every now and again. Advance warning that we need your support and we need your help. But let's move on to the reason why we're really here. And, you know, as against begging for money. As against begging for money. As I said, good to have all of you on the live this morning. 500 of you already joined us. Good to have each and every one of you here this morning, folks. You all matter to us. Each and every one of you all matter to us. You all make a difference on this broadcast. Trump got some things he's saying about Venezuela. You buy the oil from Venezuela, 25% tariff you could attract. Yep, and I think he's given Chevron up to May to wrap up the business with Venezuela. Never mind then, Venezuela got an agreement for the migrants, you know, the Venezuelan migrants to head back. You know, but on the oil front, you never know where the guys are on any particular issue. You never know where they are on any particular issue. But a judge in the United States put a halt on the latest round of deportations. And you know the Trump administration is still trying to ignore. Remember like when Janet threw the court order over her shoulder? Right. Well, she said the president to Trump. One American to another. She said the president. But the judge said, what the judge said was interesting. How they're treating the Venezuelan migrants is worse than the Nazis received. Worse treatment than the Nazis received. The Nazis. Yeah. Now, Trump ain't gonna like that, I can tell you that. Trump ain't gonna like that. The treatment is worst. You think you understand? Or you overstand? Lawrence McKenzie, you overstand? Sabrina Blue, the Honorable Camille McKenzie, Jilly G, Everett Small. We were telling you guys last evening, the Secretary, not the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense for the United States was in a group. You know, some of the persons who were in the group might have been authorized to receive some of the information that was shared in the group, including a journalist from a U.S. publication called The Atlantic, a very prestigious publication in the U.S. Sensitive information pertaining to the assault in Yemen was shared in that group, and the man couldn't believe it. This is state secrets. The things the government locally, Bebon, Sancho, and Jolly, and Mandy, and Hetty, and Rastaman, the things the folks telling us locally is state secrets, them boys would laugh at us. Laugh at us. I heard Jacob Opodei, the head for goal, Irfan's PhD advisor, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana. I heard he was saying that certain aspects of a simple contract between educational institutions, you know, certain parts of the contract under State Secret Act and non-disclosure and so on, a simple agreement between two educational institutions. You know, them boys will laugh at us. Them boys give away the Yemen war plans, the Yemen assault plans, the Yemen operational plans. Yeah. And we got a state secret, a little correspondence between two academic institutions. Yeah. So that's happening on that front, folks. And Don Sullivan, Yvette, and Brennan, Siobhan, and Yonette, Yvette Moore. While we're in the US, while we're in the US of A, and we on Yvette. Yvette, how are you doing? Yvette Clark was on the Mark Benchcop show last evening. And of course, Mark couldn't have her there. And not ask her about our sister, Melly Mel. You know, had to ask the Congresswoman from the 9th Congressional District in New York her impressions. You know, some of us think we're in an isolated struggle, you know. Gwyneth, Naomi, good morning to you. Some of us think we're in an isolated struggle. But our late, great national poet, Martin Carter, he tells us all are involved and all are consumed. You know, this is a fight for civilization as we know it. We might be fighting on different fronts, but it's a fight nonetheless. I was listening to some of what took place in Babu Jaan over the weekend. The fear-mongering. Hear how it sounds. If you don't vote for it, when them boys come in, they can cut these programs. I think the people, they were looking in the mirror. Name a program to the lines for the APNU AFC they've carried forward. Huh? They squashed the 7B's initiative, but they bring it on to different guys. They discontinued Jubilee Park. And you can go on and on and on. Never mind, they have nothing else coherent to replace it with. You know what they continue it? They keep the plan wholesale for the gas ashore. They keep the plan wholesale for the new Demerara Harbour Bridge. They keep the plan wholesale for the new Wismar Mackenzie Bridge. But they wouldn't say, you know, thanks to the APNU AFC, but they go fear-mongering. If them boys come in, they can cut the cash grant. If them boys come in, vote for Ali for more cash grant. Vote for me back so we can do these big projects. That is fear-mongering. That is fear-mongering. So the Congresswoman spoke to this struggle last evening on the Bench Cup show. It's a struggle. It is a struggle, folks. I know some of you all come now and, we get so accustomed to the run-ins at this end. We don't share the live. You get so engrossed, As watching an influencer this morning, content creator who talked about, you get caught up and meshed and engrossed. You remember to share. You remember to partner with us so we can keep on keeping on. Help us to do that, folks. Partner with us and share the live. Here's the Congresswoman speaking to the issue of the detention of social media influencer and activist Melly Mel. And speaking very, 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 very clear to the issue as well. Not mincing any words. That's how you got to do it sometimes. We say, I ain't talking water in my mouth. You know what we say. Clear to the issues. In a way that our local politicians just do not. So just in case you missed it last evening, I look around too to see what's happening. I hurry off my program so I can go mind Mark business and whoever else on. So while you're at it, folks, while we get it queued correctly, we like to do things with at least a little order. While it queues correctly, share the live for us. Thank you very much. Smash that emoji button as well. For those of you who are now joining us, the U.S. Congresswoman, Yvette Clarke from the 9th Congressional District, and she's the head for the Black Caucus too, of the House of Representatives. She's the chairwoman of the Black Caucus too, spoke to the issue of the detention of social media influencer and activist Melissa Atwell. We better know her as Melly Mel. Take a look.
I have heard about this matter. As a matter of fact, I had the honor of meeting this young woman, and this is a travesty. There's no doubt in my mind that it is a travesty. And again, we have to understand that the folks who are protesting and speaking out in our nation are real patriots. They're speaking truth to power. Protest is baked into who we are as a country. As a matter of fact, those founders of this nation were protesting the British government, and that's how they ended up coming here to the United States as colonists. And so, again, when we're talking about anyone who is not of European descent, you are subjected to the persecution and prosecution, the hatred, the bigotry of the white supremacists that are consider themselves to be a ruling class. We have got to make sure that going forward, there are many more of us who understand right from wrong. There are many more of us who recognize that we cannot give this nation over after all that we have invested to, these individuals who have no moral compass and who, quite frankly, are extremely dangerous, not only to us here in the U.S., but on the global stage. And many lives are being disrupted and are being imperiled by the actions taken by this administration. And so again, we have to stand together. I am so sorry that this sister is in this situation, in these circumstances. One of the things that we have to do is protect those amongst us whose status is uncertain or whose status has not been finalized in the United States. And we have to be their voices, because clearly they are being targeted by this administration for persecution And the only way that we can protect our freedom fighters is by making sure that we stand in the gap for them.
Yeah. You know, we'd say here, she didn't talk with water in her mouth. We got to stand in the gap for them because today's Melly Mel. Tomorrow's me. Tomorrow is me. I had 2 matters before the courts, thanks to the Jagabats and Trench Crappos. 2 matters before the courts. One was dismissed. And we're still going through the throes of the other one. Shout out Attorney at Law Darren Wade, who does this work selflessly on the forefront in defense of persons like yours truly and former Mayor Ubraj Narayan and countless other Guyanese. You know, so we got to stand in the gap for each other. You see Marilyn Thomas calling for protests in Washington. Well, you know, we got to do what we got to do. You know, and as I saw Marilyn's comment last evening too, on that story that we put out on this same issue, I think about how upside down we are sometimes, because here we are in Guyana protesting, but the detention took place in the US. And then there are instances where in the US, you guys are protesting for matters occurring home. You know, that's the beauty of being Guyanese, but we all got to do what we got to do, you know, once we can do it. Once we can do it. Please and thank you, folks, so much. You know, once you can do it. Good to have you, as you said, on the live this morning. So many of you, Don and Joylyn. But that was the U.S. Congresswoman, chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, right? The House of Representatives, speaking to that issue. She said some other things, but I don't want to detain you too much with all of it. You can refer to our brother Mark Benchcup's program last evening, and you can stay informed on what was said. But again, folks, let us stand together on this matter, you know. And I hope it's not only when they shoe on your foot and your corn, then you know what budding. But let us stand together. That's what the Congresswoman said last evening. Stand in the gap. That's what we got to do. Stand in the gap. Folks, what happened with the Lottery Statistics Bureau National Report? From the census. So many things are pending. So many things are coming soon. You know, coming soon. We ever learning, but we never come into the knowledge, Auntie Sandra. What's the text? What's the book and verse? Ever learning, Naomi, but never coming to the knowledge. Don Walcott, Veronica Primo Rollins, please and thank you. Ever learning, we never come into the knowledge. We got to come to the knowledge. John and Veronica, so a lot of reports outstanding. This can't be good governance. You got institutions without a board for the longest while, and half of them that got boards right now, half of the commissions that have been operationalized, constituted, that was the word I was looking for, is only because the opposition has been pushing and pushing and pushing. Since Irfan Ali came in, he said, we're going to appoint a Chief Justice and a Chancellor. We're going to appoint these ladies to the substantive positions. 4+ years in. 4+ years in. Can't get it done. Cannot get it done. It's an indictment. It's indictable. It's indictable. And here is the Public Accounts Committee yesterday pressing the finance secretary, pressing the administration by extension on the lottery fund board. And in fact, that millions of dollars, if not billions, being spent from the lottery fund with little or no oversight. Who are authorizing the spending? Couldn't seem to get that from the board yesterday. And this here is some of what took place at the Public Accounts Committee meeting yesterday. Again, as the committee, this is perhaps the highest ranking standing committee in the National Assembly. By its very nature, it gives oversight to the spending by the administration. And whichever administration is in government, the custom is the opposition's chairs the committee. So you got Jurita there, Patterson, Ganesh, and then we got our brother German Figueroa. He's the chair of the committee. Listen to some of what took place yesterday at this committee hearing.
FS, I understand what you're saying there, that you are ensuring that you operate to ensure whatever accountability or so on as much as you can do. But the act I'm saying speaks to the act, the Guyana Lotteries Act mandates the presence of the committee members to facilitate the working of this lottery fund and the action of how you go and buy a lotto. That's how you gain the money, when you're paying it out, and all of these things. There's a board, there's a commission that ought to be in place to do these things based on the act. My question to you, who is doing that right now? Because there has not been a board from 2020 to date. Who is doing it? Who is authorizing? You said cabinet order, but somebody got to send to cabinet a document. A document has to go to cabinet to say we are requesting X amount of money for X amount of purpose. Who is doing that? Who is usurping the authority of the board?
Let me add to my past question too, because that's a very interesting observation. Does the Act equally speak to when there isn't a commission, who is responsible? Because the commission is time bound, right? I think every 2 years. So in the event there isn't a board, the responsibility is beholden by someone else to act. Does the Act equally speaks to that in the absence of a board who is equally responsible to conduct the affairs of the lottery company?
So let me just the way in which we're doing, the way in which we are managing the affairs of the lottery fund. Yes, so the money which we are administering the lottery fund based on the Auditor General's review. All right. I don't think he highlighted any issue. I hear you loud and clear that we should have a board, and I heard about the functions and responsibilities of the lottery board. But at the Accountant General Office, what we've been doing since the board was since the lottery fund was set up was essentially facilitate transactions and to keep records of those transactions, how much money we receive from the company, how much we put into the consolidated fund, and if we utilize any money from the latter fund, what we utilize those funds to do.
Yeah, welcome back. So that's Guyana today. A lot of things not working. A lot of things not functioning according to plan. So here you have the lottery fund, and the board is not functioning as it is supposed to function. The board is not functioning as it is supposed to function. That's where we are, folks. That's where we are. Yeah, and I see my brother Andrew, is it? I saw the comment go by. asking whatever happened to the black box report. A helicopter crashes and kills 5 of our personnel, military officials, 5. And it's more than a year now. You see this standard we hold the PPP to? I didn't hear them James live yesterday. I didn't hear about the lot of fun that we pillaging. All these reports, commissions, entities that are outstanding. All that's not part of a democracy and good governance. You know, I always refer to what I read in Nexus by Yuval Harari, Noah Yuval Harari, the Israeli writer, fantastic writer. You know, How Democracies Die, another fantastic book. Both of them talk about the fact democracy is not just ballots in a box. Democracy, Philomena, as you know, Deborah and Siobhan, Samantha Joylin, as you all know, a number of things got to coalesce, got to work together. But for these boys, papers with a tick in a box, that's democracy. After that complete, let the rest to it. So when we want to talk with honesty, and let us be honest, this is a side of the PP governance too, you know, but the only side they want to focus on is the shiny side. The side that gets you the mala, the side that gets you the accolades. That's the only side they want to focus on. But they only focus on what Transparency International says. Don't let's focus on what their corruption perception index. Right? Let's focus on the few shiny parts of the IDB report that came out recently. Right? And let's downplay the negatives, minimize the negatives. See, Rubio coming, and there was a revolt brewing in Essequibo. They run quick. Fan out, y'all fan out. Look busy, look busy. They try to calm down things before they head to Babu Jaan. You know? Can't go Babu Jaan and everything topsy-turvy. But I can't ignore what the folks said at charity recently. They say, y'all abandon us. Gwen Anderson, Kurt, Laverne, and Tony, you abandon us. So there you had the Public Accounts Committee interrogating this issue of, in particular, the lottery. And you all know the lottery was an idea of City Hall, I think under former Mayor Green. Well, let me specify Hamilton Green. Let me just specify. And then central government under the PPP thieved the project. And now look, they cannot even administer it well. They cannot even administer the thing well. You know? Even that they can do. But let's hasten on. Let's hasten on. A pensioner is missing. Went with some family members and a little outing in Kukwani, down by what they call a bush pool. So all the persons were in the water and suffers memory loss. Suffers from memory loss due to an accident many years ago. And they said he wasn't in the water. He was close by and they saw him washing a vehicle at one point. And then he just disappeared. He just disappeared. Has not been seen since. life in this country. And then a gentleman is wanted for forgery. Some of y'all know y'all labor here. Wanted for forgery. Shemaiah Ryan, also known as, listen to the call name, Banker. He is wanted in relation to forgery and conspiracy to commit a felony. The police gave the date of the alleged offenses as March 11, 2025. Right? And the complaint, or rather the complainant, the person who made a complaint in the matter is Guy America Construction. Guy America Construction. And the offenses are said to have occurred in Linden. In Linden. So we're watching that, folks. We're watching that. Shemaiah Ryan is wanted. Wanted. You know. And don't make us wait too long. As we're in Linden, again, the mayor of Linden wants to do a simple thing. A simple thing, Brenda, Everett, Kirk, simple thing. The Westmore Mackenzie Bridge brings in much needed finances to the council, the main town council of Linden. Right? It helps them to effect their program, their work program. I think they say 6 million, at least 6 million a month, 70-odd million per year. Now, with the government saying from August the bridge will be free, of course, Linden wants to know, okay, so how are we getting the money? We ain't got no problem with the bridge being free. We're all for that. But how we making up for the shortfall? How are we making up for the shortfall? Why not abuse them? You know it's abuse them. Going to take Linden because who? How dare Linden ask for the shortfall? Right? How dare? You know? So they're gonna try to back Linden into a corner. Like City Hall, and then say, look, the garbage not being picked up. Look, you see? Poor governance. Look, the drains not being cleaned. But they would not point back and say it's our fault because we did not have a provision for how they were going to make up for the shortfall of the 6 million a month, how they were going to make up a shortfall for the 70 million a year. And they call that good governance. See? They're trying to squeeze the political foe, you know. Because out of Linden, Region 10, they might get a little 2,000, 2,500 votes. And then 19,000. APNU, PNC, AFC, 19,000. So they want to turn the people against their elected officials. You see, you're putting Sharma, but he's not working. It's not us that took the income from them and put them in that position. It's not us. That's the wickedness right there. That's wickedness. Here Elliot Babu Jaan over the weekend announcing the August 1st toll-free bridges.
I have brushed slightly my allocated time. But I want to leave by giving you one message. We did not even commit this to you in the elections. But last year, we said that we are going to make the crossing at the Wisma, Demerara, and Barbies Bridge free of cost. We're going to remove the toll. I want to say to you today, as we celebrate the remarkable legacy of Dr. Jagan, that with effect from August the 1st, the crossing at Demerara, Barbies, and Wisma is free of cost.
You know, it's very instructive, Naomi, how the lady hollering, yeah! And Barry, Dr. Barry Ramsran watching like, girl, if you only know. Barry like, girl, if you only know. Yeah! And Barry face, you don't know these Jacobats here. You don't know them. You know? It's like he just delivered world peace there, you know. Peace in the Middle East is a crescendo to me, for me, the build up. But we've been talking to the Israelis, the Palestinians, those who live in the Gaza. We were able last night. It's a bridge crossing Borbis. They have implemented, you know. Thousands of dollars to cross that bridge because their friends can make money. And now they are like, yeah! And he did it, yeah! Same man who put the shackles on your neck, so I can take it off now a little bit. Yeah! Diane says she can pay. Diane says she take pay. Y'all think this country is an easy place? This is not. It is not, it is not, it is not. At all. It is not. Well, y'all know it's campaign season, right? Campaign season. Them ferries don't work a week. The Malali, the Kimbia, the Sandak, the Sandak is still work. New ferries are working. Every 2 mornings a breakdown. Every 2 mornings the breakdown. But you know it's election season. They can't afford no bad news now, you know. Now that revolt that's happening in the camp with the voters. They can't afford the bad news now. I just said, run the clock walk. Run the clock walk. Get the boat in order. Run the clock. This is season. Run the clock walk. Sleep when them sleep. Get the Kimbia back in the water. Every 2 days the boat broke down. This part of governance too, you know. Not just the shiny parts. This is part of governance as well. In case you didn't know. It's part of governance as well. So this was happening, folks. Get the Kimbia working. A lot of folks are commenting. Now, what happened at Babu Jaan? It's more about electioneering rather than about honoring the memory of Dr. Chedi Jagan, former president, and his wife Janet Jagan, former president as well. You know, I blame Janet for this current travesty. Because it's Janet who stepped aside for let the little boy pass. The same little boy who became so disrespectful to her. So disrespectful to her. Same little boy. You remember when they cut the ads to Starbucks News? He always got a problem with media. He always got an issue with the fourth estate. Because they don't put on Marlon and he. They ain't got no halo around his head. They ain't got no halo to fit the big head in the first place. He always historically, calling the media at one time carrion crows, calling the media at another time vultures. And then Sabak News then throwing the line a piece of time. He cut government's advertising with Sabak News. And the lady said, no, you can't do that. That's not how you do things in a democracy when people don't agree with you. And he told Blue Eye, Bauji, he said, rest your old self. You serve your time. You're a private citizen. You give the thing to me, sit down quiet. Go and flag more paper over your shoulder. If that is not the apex of ungratefulness, that lady fling that paper over her shoulder. That court order that was served on them to injunct the swearing in. For she handed the thing to him. And he could tell that lady, you're a private citizen. You serve your time already. How much of the legacy did we hear about over the weekend? I was listening keenly. It was quite interesting. Right? You know, the room with the news is for them. The people who got the room with the news is for them. And I saw coming out of Babu Jaan, they had at least 3 hours of talk. 3-4 hours of talk at Babu Jaan. 3 headlines came out. It means the own people. And it was the same thing in the Chronicle. The own people could only find 3 things of substance. 3 things of substance. Right? And this is the fear-mongering things. Vote back for we, or them boys can cut the cash grant. Vote back for we, or them boys can think these big projects, cancel these big projects we're doing, these legacy projects to make me look nice. Right? Vote back for we. Right? Or the bridge, they're not going to be free, you know. Vote back. Those are the 3 things. Right? The vote could be the cycling that 5 or 6 cyclists we told participated in the Chadi Jagan Memorial cycle racing. 5 or 6 cyclists. Right? 3 hours, 4 hours of presentation. But what was interesting for me, when you listen to Irfan's presentation, spoke for over 40 minutes. Jagdio, close to half hour. Right? Listen to the interesting part. Sam Hines, Mark Phillips, spoke for about 17 minutes. And Mark Phillips spoke more to the legacy of Chedi Jagan than Jagdio did. Spoke more to the legacy of Chedi Jagan than Irfan Ali did. This is just props for them, you know. That legacy of Chedi Jagan is just a prop that helps them to their political ambition. It's just a prop. So I found that fascinating. Mark Phillips spoke more to the legacy of Jagan than the 2 that are bred and born true blood PPPites. Right? True blood PPPites spoke more to the legacy of Jagan. It was fascinating to behold. And then, of course, last week, Barack told us, he said, we're not gonna be divisive. We're not gonna be divisive at Babu Jaan. And then the man take the stage. When I question them, it's like he got about 27 people living in the head. It's not the audience he really talking to, you know. It's the boys upstairs. You know? Some people in different places call it legion. Is the boys of say something, but I gonna cuss them. We will not be divisive this weekend. We only talking about Cherry and Janet. Fight them. Fight them. Medical attention. This bag of bust a vein just now. Look, the man who's not going to be divisive.
You think we would worry about what they say and the press association or whatever with the haters of the PPP? That's why you have to be dismissive of them. They would say, Jagdeo cussing the NGOs. Well, yes, I'm cussing them. It's these NGOs we're cussing. Not the ones that support progress. The ones that work with children, they've seen their subvention grow by 5-fold since we got into office. The one that work with farmers or people to educate them, they can get support from us, the NGOs. But these haters of the PPP, we will fight them. So when we fight, they say, oh, the PPP is too aggressive. Well, if you come after us, as I said before, we're going to defend our legacy. We're going to strongly defend our legacy. Don't come after us. Don't come after us and they misrepresent us.
Is the hand movements? Is the hand movements to be bad? I love it. You know, the bad man tactics. We can fight them. Fight them. Fight. I find it so hilarious. Don't be divisive, but I don't cuss them. Is that you talking to, you know? It's the people upstairs. It's them boys that move in. It's suing them. Remember, he's a landlord, right? A couple people in the property upstairs. Right? You fight them. Raquel, I see your hand movement, girl. Fight. Fight. You know, when I used to do karate back in the day, say you have a kata. You're doing a kata. Fight them. Folks, this country is not a real place. It is not. But you know what? You know what? People haven't left in the mother belly, you know. And we're talking here proverbially, you know, metaphorically, right? Similactically. We used to be similes and metaphors here. Yeah. Knock back. I hope. But I ain't gonna hope because the voters, the own traditional voters, done fighting them. You see? You get a message there happening at charity, you know, it's fight. You go fight Adrian. My wrist I'm breaking off, man. Bend back. You go fight them. Fight. Holy shot, somebody. Holy shot. Holy shot, Raquel. Jailin, Delney. You're holy VP shot, man. Marcy Agard. Holy shit. Holy shot. Holy shot, folks. Holy shot. Holy shot. Holy back. Holy back. Holy back. I had a friend in high school I keep telling you guys about. Fantastic guy. Samuel. Subramani. Samuel always bad enough. I can see him now in fourth form. Second, third form. We were much lighter those days. Much skinnier. I was a quiet chap. Samuel Subramani. Samuel had mouth for both of us. Samuel always picking trouble. He said, don't go home and back. Be I confused. You know? I confused. Right? I said, what? Why did I sign up for this nonsense? Hold me back, doctor. Hold me shut. I know the kind of bad man. I recognize Samuel in me. I recognize Samuel. And this man, a lot of secret kids there, so Who knows? There's a man with a lot of secret children, so who knows? I was reading this morning, Elon Musk have 14 children. when did that happen? When did that happen? They said Elon Musk, he doesn't like, the LGBT community, all the other letters there. He doesn't like, the queer and all of that. And he has a daughter who is transgendered. I was reading how he said, she's dead to me. She's dead to me. 20-year-old. Studying languages, I think, in France or somewhere. Very fluent, very proficient. I think they call him polyglot or something like that. Very proficient in other languages. I know English. Hablar no español. Yeah, no Spanish. I know my Creole. Yeah. Hold me back. I recognize Samuel in him. So who knows? He's a man with a lot of secret children, given Samuel's age and so on. Who knows? You start early enough. Yeah, Samuel, you say every day. Samuel in a problem. Samuel Superman, wherever he is in the world today. Hold me back, Duncan. Hold me back. Hold me back. Hold me shut. Hold me shut. First, I recognize. Folks, let's leave it there today. We're going to see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. Jilly G, Desiree, Bantu. Folks, help us to keep going. Please. Jilly G says she knows English and broken English. Yeah, I'm right with you there. All right? We're poly-English. Nigel and credible sources. All of you folks, thanks for joining us this morning. Good to have you on the live. Marcy, Terrence, Jilly G, Sheila. Good to see all of you folks this morning. Edward and Desiree. Bantu. I see Dwayne and Edward, Dolly, Harold Boyer. Good to have you, Harold. John Davis. Marlon Thomas. Yeah. Fight. Y'all have a good day. See you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day.